What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Don't Forget About Me, the Supernova version, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's talk about survival mode, because this is something that obviously is still a big part of the Splinterlands ecosystem, even though everybody's getting super excited about Conclave Arcana and Land right now. But this was a new game mode that was introduced just a couple of months ago. And as of the last town hall in April, one of the things that Matt said is that match liquidity is low. That's one of the biggest challenges that they are facing right now when it comes to survival mode. And so you can see here, it's very easily visually represented with survival mode being the yellow bars. And so while we do get these spikes towards the end of a season, for the most part, it is lagging well behind many or both of the other formats. Now, keep in mind, the energy system used for Modern and Wild versus Survival is different, right? You get 24 energy per day per account, whereas with Wild, it really just comes down to your cards. When your cards are killed in battle, they are out for a specified amount of time, and that is probably what is really killing the match liquidity. So the big question is, how are revival potions going to fit into this? And my answer to that, even though I don't have any of the details, I don't know how it's all going to work, and the how is a revival potion going to be the same whether it's impacting a fully maxed card versus a level 1 card? Is it going to be the same whether it's impacting a a legendary versus a common? I don't know. I'm not thinking through that right now. All I'm saying is that, in my opinion, we should be trying to prioritize that. Now, the main reason I'm bringing that up is because Midnight Potions, at least as of now, seems to be very effective in terms of getting some kind of usage out of land. And you can see here that the market has become very efficient. These potions are now going for 8 cents a pop, right? That might go down, that might go up. I don't know. Right now we're in a weird period where people are just producing as much as possible before the utility actually arrives. So this is like pre-utility, if you want to call it that. But on May 13th, when Conclave Arcana packs are starting to get open, we'll see that demand spike and then probably tail off after a little bit. So I'm looking at this and saying to myself, okay, 8 cents for a potion. If somebody loses a Tofu or an Olivia or a Dr. Blight or whatever it is in survival mode, right? And I should probably really just focus in on summoners, because those are the big limiting factors. If somebody loses one of these top tier summoners, whether because it's like a good fight or a good battle, or they just got edged out for whatever the reason is, I'm looking at this and saying, well, 8 cents to unlock that card, and then the potential to go and win again in survival mode and get 8 SPS back is pretty. I don't know. That to me seems as though a lot of people are going to run the numbers on that, right? They're going to min-max, they're going to ROI and see if it's worthwhile. Now, I don't know if revival potions would actually come out to be 8 cents. I don't know what the demand would be like. I don't know what the supply would be like. But I do know that shaking up the game economy, specifically with land, to get people to make something that would probably get used if a lot of the other pieces are in place, meaning that, if the rewards in survival mode are good, and at the higher levels, they really are. So you could get someone like Vugtis or, Brave Toph, or whoever's at the top of survival mode, using up a ton of cards. You probably could get them to start buying a ton of these potions. And if someone like Vugtis decides, you know what, I don't want to buy them, I'm just going to start making them on my land, well, all of a sudden it becomes a net sink, right? A net positive for the resources in land, because everything that is, everything that goes towards creating those is coming from somewhere, right? So these resources are no longer getting dumped on the marketplace. They're not going to be used to farm research or SPS or midnight potions and aura, right? They're going to be going towards something else. So the more utility that we can give to land, especially one that is impacting another area of the game, which is still new and still being explored, but can make things, generally, I think, a lot more interesting, that is something that we should explore sooner rather than later. Now, when it comes to land, right? I do know that the team is looking at, and this is not inside information, they've talked about this in previous town halls, but I do know that the team was looking at having land resources be applied for conflict wagons. And I don't know how much work is going to be required in that, but with conflicts coming in June or July, that's probably going to be the next thing that gets focused on. But I would say, depending on how long that's going to take, I would either finish that up if it can be done quickly, right? Hopefully in the month of May, ideally. If it, like, because here's the thing, right? If it's just a matter of like swapping out the resources for these wagons, meaning that instead of using DEC to burn or to create or repair the wagons, we're going to switch it over to wood, ore, and stone, or something like that, whatever it ends up being. All of that would be, I don't know how easy it would be, but I can't imagine it's like too difficult. And then I really think that we should switch the focus over to revival potions and try to get that out sometime this summer, right? June, July, whenever it is, to really kick things into gear for survival mode. But that's just my personal thoughts. I don't even participate in survival mode that much. I'm just saying the success of like Midnight Potions so far shows me that we can get to an efficient marketplace where producing these potions would allow for the price to hit a nice equilibrium that demand would actually be worthwhile. And then all of a sudden we really see the Splinterlands ecosystem coming together with land providing benefits not only for card packs and potions, right, but for survival mode and who knows what other else, right, conflicts. So like that to me could really get land like on another level. And then who knows what the team could create and move to from there. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.